Hi, I'm Christy Grace. I live in Fitchburg, Wisconsin. I learned about Arts for All Wisconsin when it was formerly VSA. I was an artist at Dane Arts by Local about a year and a half ago, and they found me and said, wow, you do a lot of different styles of art. We deal with a lot of artists, and I think there would be a great connection as a teaching artist. And I came in and toured the place and found out what they did, and it was so in line with what I feel is right, supporting artists for one, and then supporting people with disabilities. A lot of my artwork deals with invisible disabilities, things that people can't see on the surface but exist in their lives that hinder them in some way, and I do a lot of my art about that. So that connection was very natural, and I came to start teaching the combat veterans in Arts for All. And it's been just a wonderful experience. And I think the empathy that comes from knowing how it feels to have something unseen has really helped me in my teaching. And also the wide range of art that I do has really been a fun thing because we do so many different kinds, and I can bring that to the table. So I've been making art since I was very little. My dad was an artist and my mom was kind of a craft or sewer person. So I was constantly encouraged to be creative. I went through high school doing art constantly, hopped into college into graphic design. And while I was in college, I actually was painting faces. I was decorating wedding cakes and 3D cakes. So all my life I've been following this arts path. I tried to do the graphic design thing for a while, and though it's helped me in every aspect of my creative life, I didn't want to sit in front of a computer all day. And so in 2013, when I was still decorating cakes, I decided to go off as a professional artist. And it's been a challenge since then to find out where I fit with all my art styles and what I'm supposed to do. But slowly it's come into focus. I have a couple main things I do. I illustrate. I do my own fine art, I do art jewelry, and the new one is teaching. And I've really enjoyed those things. And they fit really well into my goals for my life and my goals for helping others. So projects I've been working on recently, there are actually two main ones. One is art as a journal for me. And about every couple years, I feel this urge to create something from within. So it's a very personal piece. A lot of times it deals with what I'm going through, what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing. And so I have a huge canvas in my studio right now just waiting. And I bought it about the time that COVID hit. And so it's waiting for me to process all the emotions I've been going through as somebody with invisible illnesses in a time of COVID, and being a mother and a teacher and a wife and everything like that. So I'm excited about when that comes time to create that piece. It will really help me process all that I've been through. I'm also working on a children's book right now that I'm writing and illustrating. It's on pause a little bit during this time, but it's about an opossum and all the good opossums do in eating tons of ticks and helping us keep away from Lyme's disease. And so the book is about an invisible illness, Lyme's, and it's about an animal that I would love to keep safe because they're adorable and very helpful opossums. So I can't wait to put that together. I felt a lump in my head the other day and I said, is that a tick? Like, you get that feeling because we go outside a lot. We have the Arboretum in back. And so yeah, they're around. I have a shadow box here. So this is Fawn Shadow Box, so I'll see if, okay, yeah, I can do that without too much glare. So the piece I created that won the Creative Power Award is called Peony's Shadow Box, and it's actually built on the dioramas I used to do when I was little. It's off that process. And so I paint each piece with watercolor, and then individually I cut them out. And this is kind of an example. This is Fawn Shadow Box. So you can see the layers that build up the picture in each one, and usually you get this really fine detail, and so I have to put wire work and create a support for it. And so it's a lot of work, but they're really beautiful, and it's kind of like telling a story in one picture. The peonies, I did a lot of layers. We actually have them in our garden, and they're just a really beautiful, whimsical flower. And so I wanted to kind of echo that. One is actually held up by a chopstick to support it, and some of the leaves are really fine. I actually layered the petals of the main peony in the front. And so it was a lot of work, but I love how it turned out, and I'm so glad it got recognition. When I heard I won one of the Creative Power Awards, I was 1, overjoyed, and 2, surprised, and 3, I had all these complex emotions. I deal with invisible illnesses that sometimes aren't classified as disabilities. So part of me was like, do you deserve to be a part of this show? And I think that goes back to like wondering why people expect all disabilities to be seen. And I've gone through quite a bit where it's complicated my life. I've had to change the way I work, the way I act, the way I rest my body. And so I have to accept that like the illness changed me enough to say like it's a disability. And I have to accept that and then say you are worthy of being part of this group and you are worthy of this award. So all in all, it's been a really good thing for me. I'm more self-aware, and I'm very appreciative of both the time and energy people put into all the awards and receiving one. So thank you. With the start of COVID, I know so many artists have had to find new ways to show their artwork or their talents, be it music or theater or visual arts. And I'm one of those people affected by that. I used to do a lot of shows. I had a whole tent and tables and things set up. I had fairs I would go to and sell my art. And it's so nice to be in person and say, like, this is what I created. I am the person that created that. And a lot of people will find that connection. They say, I remember the story you told me about this piece, and I'd really love it in my house because every time I see it, I'll think about that story. And so losing that relationship and that way of communication has been really hard. I've also had to move a lot of my work online to sales places like Etsy and online stores, so that whole process is an undertaking, a work of art in itself. And so I've moved a lot of my work onto Etsy. I have my website, artofchristy.com. This whole time has also kind of illuminated how those shows were hard on my body. So it's kind of this double-edged sword. It's like, okay, you're losing that money, but here you are knowing that your body needs more rest and that it might be a positive thing to change the way you're doing things. Like there's some catalyst that's changing it to where it matches what you need in your life better. And so I've been strangely grateful for more time inside and more time with my family, and just a time to figure out what's best and what priorities I have to put forth to provide myself the right amount of self-care, to follow through with all my health needs, and to still create a business where I feel happy, creating and sharing my work. So it's a work in progress, of course, as we're all finding out.